What's going on, guys? So today on this T.A.R.O video, we're going to go ahead and get the Planet X Shockwave, hopefully into vehicle mode. It's not the easiest transformation. In fact, I'm probably going to screw up quite a bit. It's got some complicated nonsense in there. But if nothing else, I will bumble through it. You guys are not new to this channel, you should know. Alright, so I got to move the camera up just a little bit because I got room to work here. It's one problem with the chair that I'm currently working in. Alright, so just real quick off the bat, let me straighten everybody out a little just to make life a little bit easier. As it were. By the way, he's kind of a tall boy. Maybe I'll come up in an angle down ever so slightly. Let's look at that. Let's see here. Hand needs to tuck in. Very good. The fingers are very stiff, so it's kind of scary to finagle such things. Okay, so he's kind of set to do the thing. We need to start with his gun. What? Yeah, okay. So we can lift this up more or less, kind of freeing these hoses. The hoses. And just kind of rotate them out of the way like that, and just it looks funny, but it is what you got to do. Now, in the instructions, it tells you to lower this section down first, but that's sort of an impossibility unless you kind of cram a finger in there, and you can't do that. So realistically, what you want to do, go ahead and pop this loose, because you're going to do this anyways. You might as well do it now. And knock that loose, and then this here will push through the bottom and go out like that. Now, the front end up here, we don't really have to do anything with. The back end back here is where all the magic is going to happen. Now, the hoses, they really do intend for you to, like, leave them there, but they will kind of get in the way or be in the way. So it is what it is. But this is a neat gimmick that I really do like. So this is going to turn into the kind of rear vernier or thruster housing, and I like this where they just kind of have it rotate around itself, and that's neat. And now you just sort of ever so carefully reposition thing, because you screwed it up by squeezing it a little. So that's pretty cool. But then we need to straighten this guy out enough so that we can get this into there. So pegs need to go into holes, and I will say that when I did my out-the-box review for this, I did have to sand those down ever so slightly to get them to fit in these holes. The other holes that they go into, the ones, you know, i.e. up here, you know, they're clearly not full holes. You don't really have to worry about that. Now this section, you just kind of set aside. That's just going to become like a weird underframe for things. I don't know why I said it that way. Every time I get a weird word like that, I always want to say it with a fake Japanese anime accent. Underframe. Okay. Alright, so we need to come to the arms, and this is going to be interesting. And you want to plump. Everybody else just... That was weird. Okay, so also that is like in my peripheral view now. So hold on, let's pop this open. Let's pop this open. You can go ahead and just tuck the hand away. It's kind of useless now. Go ahead and close that back up and open that up to the full extent of itself. And because his elbows are just kind of there, like they elbow, but in any direction that you need an elbow to go. And whenever we do the articulation in the lights went off on me, but that's okay. All right, so basically just gonna do that number, and then you want to disconnect from here, kind of bring the arms down. It's not the last thing we're gonna do with the arms, but we just need clearance because we have to manipulate the backpack back here and extend the wings out. Flip this up. It does tab into those slots right there. Rotate 180 degrees, and then eventually, once we get a little bit further along, we get more clearance from these arms and whatnot, we'll do more back here. And then you want to pull this up. Those were just kind of in there. Now he's sort of becoming a thing. Go ahead and get the spudger, which I managed to go get while the lights are off, because some of these things are not going to be easy to get out. Okay, so I want to, like, all this thing just flips down. It shouldn't be. There we go. All right, so that's going to come into play a little bit later. Don't want to push it back too far. And then you want to push the head down in, and this is a terrible thing because the sliders are horrendous. So it's got 3, possibly 4 sliders on the inside there. And it is not great. I remember when I did the out-the-box reaction, I had to use something to shove it down. Also, I had to use something to shove it up. So whenever I get to the transformation in the actual review, which obviously if you guys know how I do this, I usually film the T.A.R.O first and then go from there. That's going to be a pain. So that is about as low as you go. I believe that is all the way down. Yep. Okay. So that's good there. And then you want to take these bits here. Now you can do this with a fingernail, but why if you have a spudge? If you have a spudge, use a spudge. And this little guy right here is on a hinge. There it goes. And you flip this back, tab thingy right there, and a peg also. So it doesn't go over the tab, it lines up to the tab. And then you get these cool translucent bits that also emerge, which is kind of cool. I like the idea that it literally unhides something. So that's really cool how that works. So you get all of that action. Now, I believe this is where we want to finagle the wings. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's on the next part. Because I thought the wings wanted to do the thing already. But now I don't remember. Okay, no wait, the wings have to come in after the arms. Do the thing. Okay. So arms need to flip in. And then you want to push this guy in here. So these tabs will go into those slots on the shoulder armor. And I believe we want to make use of this. So rotate this around so this is facing forward. Do the same thing. And then it breaks off at the side of the elbow in a way. So push these in and align the slots. Looks like one side wants to align, the other not so much. And you can just finagle it. There we go. And then these, it always wants you to kind of push it forward and sit it like right here, but then you're going to end up manipulating it here in a second with the wingies. So it is what it is. You get this nice undersection here. But see, if you got these slots here, those are going to go up into there, like so. And then on the underside, you want to put that tab. Now that is a scary process because, as you can see, that ain't exactly a place to go. It does not recognize this as a specific hole, so to speak. So you need to get that as flat as possible, like so. Now see, one thing that's weird, that's supposed to kind of chunk down over there, so something isn't very happy. Maybe it's the hand on the inside of the arm. It's a little weird. No, that's not exactly hindering. Either way, let's make the best of it, shall we? Okay, so basically That's what you're going to work with right there. It's scary, believe me. So tuck this one up, peg it in to there, and then you want to figure out exactly the right spot for that, but I think that'll work. For those who are unfamiliar with Planet X, sometimes their instructions are vague. Like, a lot of times their instructions are vague. So basically that's what we want to end up with, that whole situation back here. So we've got a hole here that's going to come into use. We got a tab slot right there that's going to come into use, and then a couple other spots later. Now, somewhere back there that needed to be pushed in. I'm certain with all the finagling of things, it got out of whack. Now the legs, as traumatic as all of that was, the legs are worse. So I've already see how this leg already is a little bit like this. It's because I was messing with it. You actually want to unfold all that. I'll show it off on the other side, and it wants you to turn at the middle of the knee, because that was the most brilliant joint I could have ever come up with. Turn at the middle of the knee, and you want to kind of get this guy up and past there, or maybe you go the other way and I'm an idiot. No, I thought it was this way. Because this needs to go there, because that's going to plug into that hole. Oh, fairly certain we want to rotate the waist. Yeah, I was looking at that, I was like, that ain't right, because this part has to be facing downward and all this has to be facing that way. Okay, now what you want to do is straighten up the knee. I guess the weird part is it wanted you to turn it like 15 degrees, like a very specific number. Like, turn this 15 degrees. And then it's like, why? And then it leaves it real wonky, and it's like, oh, because you want to fix that. Okay, and then you want to utilize this joint more or less like this. Come down to your feet, straighten them out, fold that flat, fold this up. So you kind of want this situation for the best of my ability. So let's show this off. So the inside is what comes out. So you want to pry this off. You know, and it plugs into here and to here, and then get it around and past the ankle joint, which is not always easy. I'm gonna do that number. And then come over here. What they should have engineered this on a slider that goes in and out a little bit more, rather than a pin joint that's super tight. Okay, once again, since we're here, fold your ankle in, fold your toesies flat like that. Sorry, I got this one a little bit wonky. Flat like that. And then, like, the location of the knees and stuff like that is all kind of relative later. I don't remember if the knees go this way or the other way. I think I got it right on this side. Okay, so once again, turn 15 some odd degrees, and that's just for clearance sake, just to get all that past there. Straighten it back out. Once again, they put a rotation joint in the middle of a knee because they are brilliant. They must be smarter than you, and I mean you specifically watching this. They're definitely than you. Okay. So if you angle the knee just right, you'll feel everything sort of slot in just right. Like, see how that's not quite, but it'll get better. So how that's like sort of not really tabbed in, it'll get better. You're going to utilize these tabs here in a minute. There we go. Straighten that out a bit. So we're almost in the home stretch. Like, he's not done because you have to utilize this guy. And what you want to do is come up through here. There's a peg right in the middle that will go right there into that screw hole. And then there's a tab back here that will go up into that tab slot. Just make sure everybody's good and tight. Good and tight. And that's it, kind of at the back side, actually. Oh, with the exception of... It tells you to put that there, but that's just on you if you want to. So we've got slots, or tabs here that will correspond to these. And then you also have these big tabs here that need to go into there. So this is where we want to rotate at the hips, so to speak. And just this is where the magic is. You must find the magic. Where's the hole? It's like I can't see. Okay. Okay, so we want to... If the knee is not compacted enough, it's not gonna get in there. So if you get it just right, it'll go. And I definitely don't have it just right. Nope. So I know that the hips need to turn in. And the knee really needs to like crank in. Maybe it's all the way shut. I don't know. Let's see. Rotate this back up. Is that not pegged in? Nope. That's balls. Okay. So if you push the knee back too far, then you can't peg it into the hip joint. And you have to peg it into the hip joint. So the knee can't compact too far. So let's try that again with a little more of that not happening. Because I was pushing in the wrong spot, and that's why it all just kind of catastrophically came apart on me. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. Now this is definitely not easy. That's what I said, is like, this is the part where it gets sketchy. I mean, it could also be that this is pushed in a little far. Maybe. Get a little stretch on it, see if that helps. Okay, so I got that one. Let's see if I can get the other one. The hips being stiff definitely has an effect on this. Okay, so plug that in. Plug all that in. Okay, so now we're going to get these wrapped under to there. He says, hopefully, with hope in his heart. And you can see how it's just sort of meant to fit right through there. Okay, and are we done? Nope, not yet. Okay, so we got to take this part, flip that down, flip this over, plug it in to his booty hole, like so. And that is essentially done. Yeah, I've got to double check, make sure everybody's good. Yes, so this is Shockwave in his spaceship-y mode, and of course, if you're feeling froggy, you can put this back here for his high-speed jet mode, or whatever the heck it is. You know, just kind of burst mode. I really don't like that as it is. And I think you can, well, in theory, you should have been able to put that there. And one other thing, and I don't know if this is a real thing or not, this plugs perfectly into this hole, almost like it's meant to be like a stand. So there's that. You know, like if you wanted to just sort of prop that up, sort of, I don't know. But that's going to be it for this T.A.R.O video. Sorry it's a long one. You know, some of these things are atrocious. Oh, got like plastic shavings falling out. That's never a good thing. Like, that's clear plastic, but don't know where the heck that came from. But that's it, guys. So make sure you go check out the original review. And if you like it, give me a big old thumbs up. If this helped you in any way, by all means. And of course, if you're going to critique exactly how I did it wrong, well, I still got it where it needed to go. That's ultimately the goal, right? Make sure that you at least manage to transform the thing. And that's at least what I did. I managed to transform the thing. But I'll see you guys next time. Remember, as always, transform and roll out. I miss my